Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC P0461 indicates a performance problem with the fuel level sensor circuit, specifically relating to the fuel gauge sending unit in the 2011 to 2017 Honda Odyssey. The fuel gauge sending unit is critical for providing accurate fuel level readings to the vehicle's dashboard gauge, allowing the driver to monitor fuel levels effectively. This unit is typically located in the fuel tank and works by converting the fuel level into an electrical signal that is sent to the gauge control module. It is essential to note that diagnosing this DTC may require a considerable amount of driving without refueling, approximately 124 miles or 200 kilometers, to gather adequate diagnostic data. During this process, any freeze data or onboard snapshots should be recorded, which can assist further in identifying the issue. When conducting diagnostics, reviewing general troubleshooting information is also crucial for a comprehensive understanding of the vehicle's systems. It is paramount to follow the troubleshooting sequence precisely to ensure accurate results and effective repairs. The fuel level sensor, also known as the fuel gauge sending unit, plays a vital role in alerting the driver of the current fuel level in the tank. This sensor is located inside the fuel tank of the Honda Odyssey. It operates by using a float mechanism that rises and falls with the fuel level, converting this physical movement into an electrical signal. This signal is then transmitted to the gauge control module, which processes the information and displays it on the instrument cluster's fuel gauge. When the DTC P0461 is triggered, it indicates that the circuit performance is outside of acceptable parameters, suggesting that the readings may not reflect the actual fuel level. Incorrect fuel gauge readings can lead to running out of fuel unexpectedly, which can be both dangerous and inconvenient for drivers. Therefore, diagnosing this issue promptly is essential for ensuring precise fuel level monitoring. Several possible causes may lead to the DTC P0461 code being triggered in the Honda Odyssey. First, a faulty fuel gauge sending unit is a primary suspect, as wear and tear or electrical failure can directly impact the sensor's ability to function correctly. Additionally, poor connections or loose terminals at either the fuel gauge sending unit or the gauge control module can disrupt signal transmission, resulting in inaccurate fuel readings. It's important to inspect the wiring harnesses for any signs of corrosion or damage that may cause poor connectivity. Furthermore, the gauge control module itself may experience issues, leading to discrepancies in how data is processed and displayed. Proper diagnostics should focus on assessing each component and connection in the fuel level sensor circuit to identify the root cause effectively. When DTC P0461 is present, several symptoms may manifest in the Honda Odyssey. One of the most noticeable signs is inaccurate fuel level readings, which can lead to confusion and uncertainty for the driver. In some instances, the fuel gauge may become stuck at a certain level or may fluctuate dramatically, failing to provide reliable information. Additionally, drivers might experience issues with the low fuel warning light, which may either not illuminate when it should or remain lit despite sufficient fuel being present. Such symptoms can create significant inconveniences, such as running out of fuel unexpectedly or making incorrect assumptions about the vehicle's fuel status. Therefore, it's essential to address these codes proactively to ensure reliable fuel monitoring is restored. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0461 requires testing the fuel gauge sending unit itself to determine if it is functioning properly. This process usually involves checking the electrical output of the sensor while the vehicle is running or during a key on, engine off, KOEO state. Technicians should utilize a multimeter to measure resistance at the sending unit and ensure it falls within manufacturer specifications. If the readings indicate that the fuel gauge sending unit is operational and within normal limits, further investigation is needed. One should then inspect for potential issues, such as poor connections or loose terminals at both the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. Should the sending unit fail the test, it's necessary to replace it to resolve the underlying issue. Documenting this initial step will ensure a comprehensive record for future diagnostics and repairs. In troubleshooting Step 2 for DTC P0461, the focus shifts to examining the electrical connections related to the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module. Establishing that the fuel gauge sending unit is functional leads to the next logical step to inspect the wiring and connectors for any damage or corrosion. Poor connections can significantly affect the performance of the sensor, leading to erratic or inaccurate gauge readings. Loose terminals can prevent the electrical signal from being transmitted properly, which can mimic symptoms of a faulty sending unit. It's vital to ensure that these connections are secure and free from any oxidation, which can disrupt electrical flow. This step is critical, as even a minor issue with connectivity can severely impact the vehicle's capacity to relay accurate fuel information. After evaluating the fuel gauge sending unit and its connections, the third troubleshooting step for resolving DTC P0461 involves resetting the powertrain control module PCM. The PCM is an essential component that manages various engine and transmission functions, including fuel management systems. To initiate a reset, first turn the ignition switch to the on/to position without starting the engine. Next, use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to perform the reset operation, which clears any stored diagnostic trouble codes and resets the system to a baseline state. This reset allows the vehicle's systems to recalibrate and gather new data from the fuel gauge sending unit. Always ensure to follow the manufacturer's guidelines for this reset process, as it is crucial for effective troubleshooting and a successful repair outcome. Following the PCM reset, the fourth step in the troubleshooting process for DTC P0461 is to perform the PCM idle learn procedure. This procedure is necessary for recalibrating the engine control settings after making changes to the system. It enables the PCM to learn and adjust to the engine's idle characteristics, which can in turn impact multiple vehicle systems, including fuel management. To conduct the idle learn procedure properly, follow the specific instructions provided by Honda in their service manual. This generally involves steps like allowing the engine to idle for a specific time frame and ensuring all electrical components are in a state of readiness. Completing this step is essential for accomplishing a thorough and effective troubleshooting sequence, fostering the restoration of optimal vehicle performance. In the final step of troubleshooting DTC P0461, it is crucial to check for any pending or confirmed diagnostic trouble codes using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. After completing previous steps, this will help determine if any further issues remain unresolved. The presence of any additional DTCs can guide the technician toward other areas requiring attention, ensuring no underlying problems are overlooked. If any new or pending DTCs are found, technicians should proceed to address the indicated codes according to their specific diagnostic procedures. If no further codes are present, this signifies a successful troubleshooting effort, indicating that the initial issue with the fuel gauge sending unit circuit has been likely resolved. Documenting this finding is essential for maintaining comprehensive service records and ensuring accountability in repairs. Final repair verification is an essential concluding step for addressing DTC P0461 effectively. After conducting all troubleshooting measures, it is necessary to assess whether the repair has resolved the issue. To confirm success, technicians should take the vehicle on a test drive, noting any improvements in fuel gauge accuracy. They should monitor the gauge's responsiveness and ensure that it reliably reflects the actual fuel level during various driving conditions. If the readings remain consistent and appropriate, this indicates that the previous issues have been successfully rectified. Documenting the outcomes of this test drive is important for future reference and helps ensure customer confidence in the repair's effectiveness. The goal of this process is not to merely clear the fault code, but to ensure that both the underlying issues and related symptoms are entirely resolved. While specific preventive maintenance measures are not detailed for DTC P0461, general maintenance practices can significantly mitigate the risk of facing similar issues in the future. Regular inspections of the fuel gauge system can help detect any issues before they escalate. Technicians and vehicle owners should routinely check the fuel gauge's response during fill-ups to ensure it functions correctly. Furthermore, periodic examinations for connection integrity at the fuel gauge sending unit and the gauge control module can prevent electrical disturbances that may lead to performance problems. Keeping a clean and secure electrical environment within the fuel system is essential, as this fosters optimal communication between sensors and modules. Adopting proactive maintenance strategies will lead to improved reliability and longevity of the vehicle's measurement systems. In conclusion, understanding DTC P0461 is vital for maintaining effective operation in the 2011 to 2017 Honda Odyssey. This code relates to a performance issue with the fuel gauge sending unit circuit, which is crucial for providing accurate fuel level information. Following the outlined troubleshooting steps diligently will assist in identifying and resolving this problem effectively. Each component and connection should be assessed thoroughly, and resetting the powertrain control module and performing the idle learn procedure should not be overlooked. Additionally, establishing routine checks and preventive measures will further enhance the reliability of the fuel gauge systems. Overall, effective diagnostics and repair processes are essential for ensuring safe and reliable vehicle operation. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.